Hi there, I'm April and I'm glad you're here to hang out. Today what I'm going to be doing is tackling my fridge. In the first video I put out with my introduction, I explained how usually my refrigerator is jam-packed full. Today I'm going to show you that. So I have a refrigerator in my room, I have a refrigerator in my son's room, my client has a fridge, and I have this fridge. So during COVID, I had a lot of stuff in all of the fridge. Now I keep the stuff just here. This is all I'm using. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it isn't either. I keep stuff in my room, but that's just really like bottled water and like bottled drinks. And I guess we keep some cheese in there, maybe some olives. But for here, this is what I'm tackling and this is what I'm trying to quit. And like you can see, my condiments, it's a little out of control. I know we do have a lot of condiments, but what the problem is, it's the organizing. And you know, I have to clean my fridge, pretty often when I really go do a big grocery haul. And I freeze a lot of stuff. Right now, my freezer, though, is not jammed packed full. I used up everything in there. I'm just going to open these up really quick just to show you guys, like, what's going on here. I do have a lot of people I feed, so I really don't need to keep up this much stuff. My family comes over quite a bit, and I'm always just fixing something. I don't cook all these big, huge meals, but, you know, I always have some food going. And here's this freezer. Not too bad. It's full, but not too bad. And of course I have another freezer in another room of the house. The other freezer is just the overflow of what's here. And you know, I have a lot of bottles of water in here and stuff, so it looks way more full than it really is. All right, I'm just gonna start by taking everything out of here. If we start getting in here, we can see that it's not quite as full as it looks. I say that about everything. I guess I just try to justify, like, it's not as bad as it looks. Maybe it is. My goal is, right, to get rid of stuff. So, I mean, obviously I'm not getting rid of my food, but not to shop as much. So one of my kids gave me all this stuff, like the drinks. That's the other thing. We don't waste anything. We'll pass it through the whole family to see who wants, oh, I tried this, I don't like it, you want it? And then you say yes, and then we have it, and then we don't end up drinking it. The other day I made this dinner, and I couldn't find the cabbage. I looked and looked and looked, and look, there it is. I'm a little bit embarrassed because this is really not being transparent. I said that when I was going to start this channel. Like, I'm going to be transparent. Like, I know I have issues. If you have issues, please comment below. Like I do. I'm a little bit hoarder. I know this for sure. Sometimes I've seen on YouTube sites where it says, are you a hoarder? Do you have any of these traits? So if you wonder what this is broccoli. I'm going to see how many broccolis I have. My husband has broccoli every single night without fail. I'm not kidding you. So when I decided to open this channel, I said, when I finally made my decision for this channel, I said, I have to be transparent. I can't like stage all this, because that's why I'm doing this, is because I need help, and I think this is going to help me, and I think it's going to help you too if you have this problem too. I think it's going to be good for all of us. And I have this problem with every single thing in my life. I have too much of everything. I said that in the first video too. Like, I'm always afraid like we're not going to have enough, and I don't know why. I had enough as a kid. It wasn't because of that. Okay, my mother did this. My grandmother did this. My father's mother did this. So that's probably why I do it. They had a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. One of my daughters has a lot of stuff. The other kids, no. One daughter actually said that that's what she worries about in her life, is she has to go through her stuff often because she doesn't want to have as much stuff as me. Okay, broccoli too. That's 2 heads. Big heads. Oh, look, another broccoli. And believe it or not, I don't throw a lot of stuff out because I will use this. I'll cook it all in one batch, and maybe we're just going to have a big old batch of vegetables. Well, I shouldn't say we. My husband will have fish, shrimp, or fish and shrimp, broccoli, and potato. That means the rest of us in the house will have whatever I made. Everybody else will eat whatever. And look, a lot of this stuff is just out of place. That's a problem. Here's an example of who I am, if we're going to get to know me. So these eggs, I buy them like this. I buy them at Sam's, and they come with 3 18 packs. But I use them. See, I'm down. I'm getting down there. The other day when I was in the store, I'm like, oh, I should get eggs. And then I'm like, oh, for dear God, don't get any more eggs right now. You don't have any place to put them. That's okay. I'm changing my ways. That's what I'm doing. I'm changing my ways. So I'm a work in progress. Oh, I just happen to have a few extra eggs in case I ran out. I'm joking. I remember way back in the 90s, we used to throw huge parties. And one of these parties that we had, one of the guys came in the house and he opened my fridge and he said, remember now, we were young. My husband and I were young at this time. But this is how we, I've been this way my whole life. This guy says, oh my God, you are the condiment queen. Queen of condiments. So that I always call myself that now, the queen of condiments, because he couldn't believe how many condiments I had. I can't either. But I use them. I might not use them all at once, but they'll get used. Look, lemon curd. Do you guys have lemon curd? It's so good. One time I had to make a recipe and somebody goes, oh, do you have lemon curd? And I'm like, yeah, I absolutely do have lemon curd. So kale, we have to use this up. I have a lot of this. I've been wanting to make some green smoothies and I didn't. And I bought 3 bags of that. But when I say my husband only eats broccoli, I forgot to tell you, he also does eat spinach and kale. So we do go through it. And when I cook this, I'll cook at least a whole bag. So, not even in my vegetable drawer yet. And I rotate this. Honestly, most of this is condiments. It just looks bad. I was chilling a cranberry sauce a while back, and I never did use it. So. I just like to lay towels down in there. Okay, I'm going to start putting this back together. And I'm going to use these. I like these too because it keeps when I put the stuff where it goes, it's very organized. One thing I have to do is circulate my food too. I have to put it in, move it around enough and shift it so nothing goes bad. So I have way more milk than I normally have. I don't even know if I'm going to use all this. I've had the kids and I needed to have milk for them, so I've used a lot of milk lately. I'm in town today though, so I might end up dropping some of that milk off to one of my daughters because I'm not going to be able to use it all. And I think I had a half gallon here somewhere too. Yeah, when I go to town, I'm definitely going to go drop this milk off. We won't use it. Okay, so I'm not even going to touch these yet. I'm going to come back to that. I need to shut this and I'm going to go down to the bottom. This bag of kale is opened and the bag ripped, so I'm going to use that tonight. I'm going to set that right in my pan and I'll cook that up later. The other thing I said in one of my videos is I do make a lot of smorgasbords. I just make a big variety I make a lot of little, all kinds of things. And probably this is why, because I have so much stuff. So I have some lettuce I want to use up, and I've got some cabbage I want to use up. So maybe I'll make a little bit of coleslaw, and I'll make a little bit of salad, and we'll have kale. So I don't mind doing that. I mix it all up. Whatever needs to be cooked, I'll just cook all those things up. So we always have some big variety of the meal. I'll set those there because I know I need to use those. One thing that I do is I like to keep all of my sandwich stuff in one of these because I do have to make sandwiches pretty much daily for my clients. So I'll stick all the sandwich stuff in a tote and stick it in the top of my refrigerator, and then I'll keep this right at the top. And I'll usually put the mayonnaise right in there too. As soon as I find that'll go in there. I'll also put the roll-up bread in there. I'm going to freeze this one. I had just done a shopping run a few days ago to Sam. That's why I have a little bit more. I was doing pretty good about not buying too much stuff. But this is just a nice fresh run that I've done. So I'm going to freeze those tortillas. Pretty much that's all we use for bread is tortillas. I did buy a couple of loaves the other day to make grilled cheese sandwich. I brought plain white bread for kiddos. And I also bought the keto bread for me. So last time I bought the keto bread, I did really good, but I did eat way too much of it. So I put that in the freezer. So I'm just going to like take it out as needed because I also use the keto wraps. So I have a turnip and I have the cabbage, and that's going to be going in a meal probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to use the kale today. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Pasta is something I use a lot of. It's the Zero spaghetti pasta. It's just made with like roots. It's like the roots of a plant. I like it, and I can put a sauce on it, and it's very low carb. This has 10 carbs for the whole bag, which, you know, that's not bad at all. But I buy this all the time. So this is the carb balance wraps I buy, and I am going to have to freeze some of those because I might have another one out. What happened is when I went to Sam's and I got back, I didn't have time to clean the fridge out, so I just kind of tossed everything back in there. Oh, I still have these wonton wrappers. I might give those to my daughter. Maybe she can try that recipe. I saw on YouTube this lady made dumplings just with these. All she did was sliced up the ones for the egg rolls, but they're the same thing. You know, they're just the smaller version. Just dice them up and put them in soup and make dumplings. Really, it's like a pasta, right? Like a homemade pasta. But I might give those to my daughter, and I buy lots of bags when I go to and I freeze them. But I need to freeze these. So like when I come across something that's almost gone, I will use that up for sure today. I'll make a whole pile, and that's going to determine what we're having for dinner. Wait, that was a mess in that drawer. I don't buy stuff like this. I make the drinks because I'm very frugal like that, and I wouldn't spend the money. But one of my daughters didn't like them, and so she gave them to me, thinking that somebody here would drink them. I would, because I love iced tea. Iced tea is my favorite drink, but it has sugar, so I'm trying to stay away from sugar right now. One of my daughters loves this sparkling water, but she left it when she went back to Tennessee. She left a few of them, so I need to take those down and give them to my son. Put those in his fridge because he'll drink them. I buy stuff like this, but you know, it sits in the fridge for months and months and months because I don't use it enough. But I want one. I should just really go buy one, not a whole big case of them. I'm so happy that you guys are watching because this is going to be a lot more fun than me trying to clean this off and do all this decluttering all by myself. My husband and I are huge on sliced cheese. When I get done and I put the cheese where I normally keep all the cheeses, you'll see. We are big on cheese. Probably a little excessive because, you know, that's my whole problem I'm working on is being excessive. Trying not to have too much. I am on the low carb, you know, for the most part. And I do love apples, so. Apples are about as sweet as I'm getting right now. Like my client even bought like these drinks and she doesn't like them. So they come up here and then nobody drinks them. So I'm going to drop them off to my other daughter who I'm sure she would like to have one. So I'm going to make a whole goodie bag. We're all about sharing this stuff. So I'll make a goodie bag and deliver that today when I go to town. Usually everything in here is like with like, even though it looks like complete chaos. It does have some sort of a system to it. Now, what my goal is to get rid of anything I do not use. There's some stuff in here that I think I'll send down to my son's fridge. They're condiments. Yeah, he's more up to use it if it's right in his room for the condiments because he can just take his food down and then add the condiments to it. So I think I'm going to do that because there are some things that I know for sure are not staying. Now, when my daughter comes home from Tennessee, she also likes condiment. She's condiment queen too. So she probably picked up a bunch of things she liked and then left them and didn't take them back with her. And I'll see what I can get rid of. Even stuff like this. Like, I'm not going to use this. One of my daughters gave it to me. She didn't like it. So I am going to send this to my other daughter. Yeah, my mom and my Grammy always like this too. Quite funny how we are kind of like, my kids are kind of the same. I think there's like this little joke I know with one of my daughters, just like how we always Like when we show love, we're giving food. Like that's a sign of showing love, is giving them their bag of goodies. Of just, my mother-in-law does it too. Every time I see my mother-in-law, she's got something for us that she bought she didn't like, or she can't use it all, right? So why waste it? It works. It's a very happy feeling to know that other people are going to use it. Now I'm just going to take like mayonnaise, mustards, ketchups, and the relishes. Those are all going to go in this. That's where I always keep them. They're for the condiments that are you can, you don't need them all the time. I do need ketchup all the time, so that's something that has to stay to the front. I've got a bottle of mustard I can give away to one of my daughters. I'm going to make my pile of stuff that's leaving. All right, I'm going to start putting cheese. Here we go. So we have to use this bag up. Normally I wait till I run out before I go buy that second bag, but I went to Sam's the other day, like I said, and I'm going to do vegetables, just to start. So I know I'm going to cook this cabbage and this turnip within the next day or two. Lettuce, we eat a lot of salads, so that won't go to waste at all. Wontons are going to my other daughter. And this yogurt I'm keeping. And this had 2 grams of sugar, so this only has 4 carbs, and I have not found any yogurt with that little yet, so that's a definite gonna stay. And I always have coconut on hand. That's the thing, I always have everything we're gonna use to bake. If I need to make something, I usually have every ingredient. More pickles. Pizza sauce, we use a lot of pizza sauce because I make a lot of low-carb pizzas. I'll put that right there. I've got sugar-free jelly. I'm not real crazy about it because I don't really like sugar-free. But I guess, the new me, I kind of have to. Okay, I'm going to send this to my daughter for the kids because I'm going to be delivering a bunch of milk over there today so they can have some chocolate milk. We eat a lot of olives. We're such an olive people. Alright, I'm going to keep this one and give these 2 to my client. More olives. Those will stay to the far right. We are big on pepperoni. We have pepperoni pretty much all the time. And it's low carb. And my husband eats that too. And my son eats pepperoni too. Alright, now let's see what I want to do here. I've got some of these the carrots. And we do eat a lot of carrots too. And my husband does like those. He does like more than just broccoli and kale and spinach. I'm starting to remember he does like some other things. The way I make him out to sound is he's just only eats those foods, broccoli, shrimp, and fish. But okay, he does eat other things too. Just that's like the big thing that. All right, he probably has broccoli, fish, and shrimp 4 days a week, and then whatever on these other things. All right, this kale has got to be used up soon. I'm just gonna leave that at the top for now, so I see it. Cheese sticks. I don't buy these. My daughter brings those for the kiddos. We go through so much butter. I'm going to take it right out of the box here. That always goes there. More cheese sticks. I'm going to freeze the green peppers because I just don't know when I'm going to be able to use those. I just throw them in just like this, and I will, when I take them out of the freezer, I will wash it real quick. It'll be solid frozen, and I'll just cut it right up frozen. Do that all the time. All right. Sandwich meat or pepperoni will go in this sandwich meat one. It is so nice when I go to make sandwiches, and it's just, I pull this out and it's all together. It's just works so good. These need to go into my room fridge. We don't usually keep these out here. We just take them when we're on the go. So they a lot of times end up in my freezer because we take them as ice too. And where we do run quite a lot, you know, it's nice to have cold water with you. I can't always put the eggs on this side because I usually have a stack of 3, so they have to always go there. But I only have this 1 18-pack now, and I have this, so they will fit over there. But I usually have to put them here because it's tall enough for them. And these are the staples. You'll see when we go to Sam's sometimes, like, really I have just staples. This is sour cream. We always have sour cream. I'm going to freeze this kielbasa. I don't need that. I had respite the other day, and my respite client, she said, could we have kielbasa for supper? So we were at Sam's getting some groceries. So I bought a bunch of kielbasa, and I cooked up what we needed, and I still should have just thrown that one in the fridge right then, but I just hadn't got to it yet. This is a staple, the baking crumbles from Sam's. We use those. I use those all the time. So it wasn't too bad. I threw out like 3 tangerines. I have to have salad and use this coleslaw today. So I'll make that with dinner for whatever we have. I've got a few hot dogs in here that I'm going to cook for my client for supper. And I'm going to put this stuff right in the front because I know I'm going to cook that and the kale. 2 little crumbles in here. I guess I can just stick this right up here with these little guys. So here's what it's looking like. It looks beautiful. I'm not worrying about the sides with all the condiments. I actually am going to send a few of these condiments down to my son. Like this is a mustard sauce my daughter had gotten at Trader Joe's. She likes a lot of that type of stuff too. And this is like stone ground mustard. I'm just not going to use it. And now look, I just freed up all that space. This doesn't belong here. This was something we had just used the bottle to make ice, and I'm just going to dump it. I have enough ice bottles in there. These kinds of cheese, so I've got mild shredded cheddar, cream cheese, sharp cheese, another bag of sharp cheese, a shaved blend. I get that right at Sam's by the big bag. My husband loves that. He loves cheese. Bags of mozzarella and cheese. All of my grandkids love cheese too, so I've got, you know, shredded cheese. I've got American cheese up there. So yeah, we're quite a cheese household. And this is our typical cheese. We do get a lot of that. These fresh vegetables take up a lot of space. But this is a typical staples of what we do normally have. So I'm going to put this where it goes. This is going to go to my fridge in my room for my husband. We also have a whole drawer of cream cheese, which that will get used up too. So yeah, so that looks beautiful. That's all salad stuff. We'll be right on that all week. I don't need to grocery shop at all this week. And this is what the fridge looks like. It's beautiful. I have some empty spaces. You can see my fridge can breathe right now, which is really good because sometimes it's so squished it can't. And you can see that a lot of it was the organization. 2 of those yogurts are going to leave. A bunch of that milk is going to leave. So that's going to free up a lot of space. So yay, the next time I hope that I can show you this fridge. It's not quite so jam-packed full as far as being that unorganized, because that's my goal, is to try to keep organized, take the extra few minutes and put the stuff where it goes, and don't shop so much. That's my plan. Okay, what happens is I get in the store and then I'm like, oh, I don't think I have broccoli. But then I remembered, oh wait, I went 2 days ago and I bought, 4 heads of broccoli. So this little pile's leaving for one child, that they'll use that stuff. So between both of these, that's a lot of stuff to get rid of. And my timer is up. And that means our happy hour is over. I beat the clock again. This is going to be great. I'm going to try to beat the clock every time I do this. What an accomplishment. My fridge is clean. I hope your fridge is clean. I hope you come back and do some organizing and decluttering. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought you some motivation. I hope it inspired you. I know it sure did me. Thank you so much for hanging out today. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, ring the bell so you're always notified of all new videos that I put out. Please comment and please let me know where you are on your little journey. If you're ever interested in anything that's sewing related, please jump onto my other channel, Sew and Quilt with April Sawtelle. I'll put a link below for that. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Remember to keep it simple. Have a great day. Bye.